Learn about a man's amazing commitment to education in our community. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Herald offices at Myrtle Square Mall. We're focused on the Jostens Renaissance movement, and we're visiting with its founder, Larry Biddle. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, Greg. How are you, sir?
And I can't say the founder of Jostens, but definitely of the Renaissance movement within.
That's right.
How exciting.
It is. It's very exciting. It's been quite a ride, to be exact.
And this has been going on literally almost 15 years now.
Actually, a little more than that, because we started what we call the number 1 program at Conway High School on January 20th, 1984.
Is that right?
So this January, 2004, will be 20 years of moving down this road with kids, and teachers and communities.
You've got a great love of kids, Larry. Where do you think that stemmed? Do you think that came early in life, or was it when you first got in the classroom as a teacher or as a student yourself?
Well, I remember had an open house. I went to Catholic schools in Sacramento, California, and was actually dismissed from public school in about the first grade because 3 of us, the 3 Musketeers they called us, and we ended up in Catholic school with the Holy Cross Sisters. And but I remember in the 5th grade we had an open house kind of thing. My parents came, and I had drawn this baseball player on a pitcher's mound, and it was posted up on the board. Sister Jacinto had put that up there, you know, and so that night when my parents got home and asked how things had gone, and you know, because I want to be a baseball player, and played a lot of baseball, and Sister said, you know, he really should be a teacher.
She said that in 5th grade when you were in 5th grade.
Yeah. So and that's just, I don't know. I mean, I hadn't planned to really be a teacher, but things began, you know, doors open and doors close, and that's kind of what happened. And so from teaching went to administration and other things, and kind of a weirdo, I guess. I'm a businessman educator, which is what I call a weirdo.
Yes, well, we look forward to hearing more about that. That's very exciting. But now, did that fall on deaf ears on your parents, or had they been educators? Did they think, you know, our son could be an amazing teacher, or oftentimes?
No, both of my parents. My dad, they were in the automotive parts business. My dad was born in Canada, in Nanton, which is in the western Canada, Alberta. And then my mom was they were from Denver. They met in Denver, and neither one of them were teachers. There weren't a lot of teachers in our family, and so it just, you know, was one of those things that occurred. I think when I started. Well, I was real active in the Boy Scouts, and so that led to I guess helping other people and doing some of those kind of things, and so it just. But I think everybody's a teacher and a student, really. And when you stop being either one of those, then you could be going down the wrong highway.
That's a good point. You were born in Colorado, grew up in California.
Grew up in Sacramento, yes, sir.
Okay. Went to college also there?
I did. I went to St. Mary's College of California. It's a small liberal arts college in the Bay Area, across over the hill from Oakland. And decided to go on a junior year abroad. I was accepted to go on a junior year abroad program at the University of Madrid. And NYU accepted about 200 students nationwide. They also accepted a girl from Conway, South Carolina named Jenny Marshall on the same program. And that's how we met, and that's how I ended up in Horry County. So I went from Denver to Sacramento to Madrid to Conway.
That's an amazing.
It's a great way to get here.
Do you still have family on the West Coast, Larry?
Yes, sir. Sure do. Yeah, I have some cousins in Sacramento and family in Denver, and some in Seattle, and some in Arizona. So yeah, a lot of Western.
Do you and Jenny get back to Madrid at all?
We haven't been back in a while, and want to go back. We've had, I guess, in our home, a dozen or more Spanish exchange students,
right.
And they're always inviting us back. They've lived for a year, and some went to Conway High, and one of them went to Coastal from Chile, and so. But we hadn't been back in a while. But we'd like to go back. It's been a while since we've been there.
I think I saw, Larry, a write-up about you. There were 4 key words that were highlighted. Of course, one of them was parent.
Right.
One of them was linguist. I think one was educator. And then one was businessman.
Yes.
Let's talk about those. Obviously, the parent aspect is one we got to get to. You and Jenny have children?
We have 3 children, all grown and married, 6 grandchildren, boy and a girl with each group.
Oh, great.
They're all here. They're all in Horry County, which is probably unusual.
Yeah.
Our youngest, Marshall, who's an attorney with McNair Law Firm, thought he'd be in Columbia, but he ended up coming back home. He had 3 offers from different law firms in the area, and Rogers, Townsend and Thomas, and Nexon Pruitt, and the McNair Law Firm, and decided to go with McNair. And they just came. They said they're coming home, so yeah, they're all here. I have a older son, and with Palmetto Paving, and then my daughter works with Irby Walker's law firm in Conway, and then Marshall's an attorney at McNair.
How exciting. Well, of course, oftentimes it's the thought of coming home to be close to parents. But, of course, you're on the road a lot, Larry. And you and Jenny, I think last time I talked to you, y'all were in Hawaii or somewhere amazing.
That's right, we were. That was kind of we were asked by Luis Palau to serve on his President's Council after the Beach Fest.
Oh, yeah.
Some involved. Jenny was very involved in that. And, of course, Burrs and Chapin was helping them with the property at Broadway and so on. And so they've asked us to serve on this council. And they have meetings all over everywhere. And they wanted us to come to Kona on the Big Island. And then the Renaissance schools, we have a lot of Renaissance schools on Maui, and they found out I was coming out there. They said, gee, if you're coming this far, can't we do one workshop and a thing? And they said, yeah. And then the grandchildren had the oldest 2 grandchildren who are surfers, and my oldest, my granddaughter's a golfer. She was on the state championship Carolina Forest golf team for 2 years. And so, they always want to go to Hawaii. So we said, well, we'll fly them out. And Marriott had this special thing they called me about, and so all of a sudden it turned into a 2-week stint. But,
great.
It's just the way some things happen.
Yes, absolutely.
We had a great time.
And I can't wait to hear more about when you say a Jostin school or the movement is out in Hawaii. I think I saw it expanded into Canada and down even into Central America. So it's obviously going to heck of a lot of expansion.
It is. That
aspect of you as a linguist is mostly related to, I guess, Spanish. Do you speak other languages?
Well, I speak some Italian. After our stint in Europe, where Jenny and I were, we were the same program together.
Right.
We were married 2 years later. But I went and did a master's degree at Middlebury in Vermont in their graduate language schools. We went back to Spain married, so lived over there another year while I finished my master's degree.
Oh, wow.
And but when I came back to St. Mary's after our junior year, we studied Italian. Both of us actually took some Italian, so I speak a little Italian. And I get around it, it comes right in. And, the power of languages is, I guess, when you learn one extra one, then other ones kind of, there's some commonality, especially Romance languages. And so, I can understand a lot of French. I never really took it formally, but I've been in France and Canada and so on. And so you begin to pick it up.
Did your kids get interested in Spanish growing up? Did you and Jenny rap in Spanish a lot in the house?
We did. We used that, so they, wouldn't understand where we were going. That was a good thing. So that kind of one of them learned. But they've all taken it. They do a little bit in it. Marshall's probably the best in it because he was fortunate to go back with one of the exchange students living at our home and spend a summer in Spain. So he really got, you get so much if you just go to the country for.
Particularly if you go by yourself, not with other Americans.
Right.
If you go and really immerse yourself in there,
it's just so much. You can make so much progress so quickly.
When did you first start teaching, Larry?
My first teaching job was actually in Spain when I was working on my master's degree.
Right.
I taught at an all-Spanish high school, English.
Huh.
So I learned a lot of Spanish, and they learned some English. So it was a great, it was a great opportunity.
Oh yeah.
And but that was my first teaching job, really, and I just loved it.
That would have been a good while before you began the professional side there at Conway High School, though.
Yeah, when we came back from Madrid after the master's was finished, Jenny was pregnant with our first child, Casey, and we decided, we were going back to California, really, and she was having a few complications and so on with the first child, and actually she had been going to a Spanish doctor and learning everything in Spanish because we thought we were going to stay over there.
Yeah.
And I was going to work on a doctor's degree and some other things, and it just didn't work out. And so anyway, we came, rolling back to the U.S., and we've never left Conway since. Decided to stay, and we hit the pier in New York coming back, because in those days you crossed by ship. No one flew to Europe. You cross by ship, hit the ground, and bingo. I had a cablegram from Conway High School, Tom Eady, who lives in Myrtle Beach today. Tom said, we lost. Our Spanish teacher went to Venezuela, staying for the year. We got an opening. I understand he just got a master's degree. Would you consider teaching for a year? And so that happened. And next thing I knew, the following year I was at Coastal Carolina University Coastal Regional Campus then.
Right.
And then I was at headmaster at Winyah Academy in Georgetown, and back to Conway High where we started all this Renaissance in '84. So.
How exciting,
yeah, it is.
Larry.
Yeah,
and of course, then the last of those 4 words was businessman. I think I saw in reading about you're the president of the Burroughs Company, president of the Jerry Cox Company, secretary, I think, of Snow Hill Company. You're on the board of directors of Burroughs and Chapin and a number of other amazing locally owned and operated groups.
Right.
That's a pretty big deal. How have you been able to do all that as well as maintain your incredible travel experiences with the Jostens Renaissance movement?
Well, you kind of get up early, stay up late. That's one thing you do. You get a cell phone and a laptop and pay attention and get you a good planner and everybody talked to me about, getting a little handheld.
Right, Palm.
Yeah, a little Palm, but it just doesn't work for me because last night I got a call from a school I'm going to be speaking at in New Jersey, and, she's given me kind of the lay of the land in that community and what's going on and what the kids need and where their faculty is and other things. So, I can put that all on a Palm Pilot. And so I have to kind of, if I'm going to go speak in a community, I have to take a kind of a page of notes on where they are, what's going on, what do I need to say, what do I need to position, who's coming, those kinds of things. So, but you just you get a plan and follow it, I guess.
Now, Larry, after all these years, you must do a lot of this extemporaneously, though. I mean, surely you need to know what the school itself wants to focus on within the Renaissance movement or within that setup. But there's, a heck of a lot of this. I see you've got a magazine in your hand. I think this guy's probably read. He's probably developed the entire thing. What's he doing with something in his hand? It's all second nature. It's got to be.
Well, when you get so many educators involved, it went from the first conference we had was in April of '88 at Conway High School. Jostens came to me in '87 and said, can we teach these ideas to America? Conway High was we were the first blue ribbon school in the county. And, they said, hey, can we teach this stuff to America? I said, well, I don't know, I guess. I said, well, we're going to fly in 23 schools. We're going to put them up in Myrtle Beach at the Radisson on the ocean front.
Oh, yeah.
Treat them like professionals. And we're going to bring them to Conway High School for a couple of days, and you tell them what you're doing. Let's see what happens. Well, it's grown from April of '88 to the 5,500-plus schools that we have in the U.S. and Canada. And, of course, we're looking for all these educators who are out there who can think creatively and understand what we call 10 essential elements of Renaissance. And I got all these ideas really from the business community because Burroughs Company has, 20 historic buildings in downtown Conway that are renovated and released. And then Jerry Cox is in the fuel business as well as the convenience store business. Snow Hill is a land holding company with some very prime residential property in Conway that's probably going to be coming around to be developed in a few years. And, of course, Burroughs and Chapin is in a lot of stuff, as you well know. And,
we're sitting in one right now. That's right. They're my landlord.
Yeah. And I guess my dad was in the auto parts business, and so I've always been around business and understood entrepreneurial pursuits. And my mission has been to get educators to think more like business people than anyone else, because I think we've got to get more results with more kids in America. We can get results with the top few pretty easily, but you got to focus on everybody, not just the top few.
I think I saw in reading about you, simple message. It's not the boardrooms of America, it's the classrooms of America that are critical. Is that really the entire focus there?
It is. We teach the 10 essential elements to educators, get them to think of their school as a business. What are the images? It's mostly the athletic department's got all the images. That's why we created the number 1, because that was the academic image at Conway High School. So we say to schools, get an academic image. Focus on all kids. We started a thing called honor cards. And we had originally green and gold cards because Conway High was green and gold. And, here I was out, and eventually I'm in California not too long after this starts. And, I'm talking about green cards in California. They're going, wait a minute, we already have green cards. We ain't got a lot of them. We can't use that here. So we just said, hey, let's use gold, silver, bronze. And so the power of Renaissance is that there are things in place in what we call levels and layers where all kids have a fighting chance for wherever they are. I don't care where a kid is. Our philosophy is let's take them to the next level. And I ask this question across the country, especially in staff development things that I conduct. What happens to a student on your campus who has 5 Fs the first quarter and the second quarter 2 Fs? Well, if you were looking at performance improvement, you would realize that that student has had more performance improvement than anyone on the campus. But as a nation, we only want to celebrate the top few all the time. We say, wait a minute, let's celebrate all the performers wherever they are so we can move them up, because that's what you've got to do. And so the honor cards, we actually have 4 layers of cards: gold, silver, bronze, and then a 0.5 GPA increase card. So every quarter, every student has an opportunity to move up, which is what you got to do, because you can't ask kids to jump across the Grand Canyon. It's a long jump. You know, and the honor roll, normally, I'm not against the honor roll. We have honor rolls. You know, we have card holder rolls. But what are you doing to help those kids that are at the lower 50% move up? You know, we just talking to Richard Parkhouse, is a California friend of mine who's coming here in about 2 weeks to spend some time. But we talk all the time about, are the heroes coming from the lower 50% of your school, the upper 50%? And who are the role models, who are the leaders, and who are the heroes? And how do you really structure that? And what do we do with the power of teachers and who they are? No one listening to this program gets anywhere without a teacher. No one. We all owe
a heck of a lot
to teachers.
Debt of gratitude. Absolutely.
Yeah. And we're never going to give them the money they deserve, so let's give them the respect, and let's position them as, you know, most important professionals in town.
It's very exciting to see you get emotional about that, Larry. It's very exciting to recognize that importance. That sister, and when you were in 5th grade, who told your parents Larry could be an educator. He should be an educator. Albeit, I'm sure there was a thought you'd be educating them in their auto parts business. I mean, you'd be helping your parents out, whatever you were going to get into. And obviously, that important aspect of life is so vital. When you think about the movement of yourself and seeing the Renaissance movement progress from one school in 1984, almost 20 years ago next month, to now 5,500 schools. How has Jostens fit into it? I mean, that's obviously a for-profit company, but they are giving back dramatic levels back on a very recognized not-for-profit side. How has that merged well?
Well, I didn't realize at the time we were putting all this #1 thing together and got the national recognition that they were looking at ways to give back to their schools. And they tried several different things, and they couldn't come up with it really. And then one of these Jostens reps, our rep actually, Mike Carroll from Mount Pleasant, who I've known for a long time, knew him when I was at Winyaw Academy. He kept saying to Jostens, "You don't know what they're doing at Conway High School." And they said, Conway High School, where Conway High School? South Carolina, come on. You know, and all that. And then all of a sudden, somebody up there in Minneapolis, probably when it was cold, someone said, you know, Conway's near like Myrtle Beach. Oh, you didn't say it was near Myrtle Beach. Well, we go to Myrtle Beach. We'll go look at it. Yeah, let's go to Myrtle Beach. Bring your golf club. You know. So that's kind of how they came rolling in here. But they realized that it's what they call value-added piece. And their philosophy at Jostens is to help schools be better places. And they found that through Renaissance that can occur. Our philosophy has always been, let's change the culture of teaching and learning. And let's celebrate the mind like we've celebrated the body. Because we can celebrate the body in America. I mean, we know how to motivate kids from the neck down. And we've done a great job with it. And I'm not against that. It's just that we feel like we ought to motivate them from the neck up as well.
Yes, yes. Larry, it sounds like Jostens has almost set up an individual education foundation in 5,500 schools. I mean, they are providing, they can't get into the curriculum. They're not in the state or in the boards of education. But they are helping set up a program to help benefit both teachers, to praise teachers as well as students. That's amazing.
Yeah, and actually one of the things we do, the 10th principle, or the element, the 10th element, is the structuring and founding of a foundation in those communities that can drive an educational foundation that can drive. A
Renaissance foundation or a?
Yeah, it's an educational foundation for that school, like Conway High School Educational Foundation. And, you know, a lot of schools, Myrtle Beach has a tremendous foundation here. And all the schools we recommend, you know, start a foundation because you got the power of alumni. You know, Conway High School was founded in the about 60. It's 1869. It's real early. Conway High's got 150 years of history.
Is that right?
But we really never capitalized on it. And if the power of alumni in our schools across the country is strong, and foundations, that conduit where you can, you know,
we've seen foundations pop up, private foundations to benefit public schools recently, particularly the School Foundation in Florence. Would you support foundations like that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think we're going to get excellence in our schools unless business and education come together.
It was so exciting in studying an education foundation down in Hillsborough, Florida. There was a great quote by the executive director saying, we help corporations by enabling instead of corporations being hit up constantly by schools and others, we are the conduit, kind of like Helping Hand in Myrtle Beach for the churches. The churches will give to Helping Hand so everyone comes to see Helping Hand instead of everyone coming to see all the different churches. It really is a magnificent conduit, and I'm sure in individual schools themselves it must be a powerful thing.
It is, because it rallies the entire community. You know, you've got, obviously you're impacting kids because it's all about academics and teaching and learning, but you've got the alumni, you've got the staff, you've got, it's a word I created called staffalty, which is the faculty and the staff. Well, you can't do one without the other. Are the bus drivers not important? I think they are. The cafeteria workers, the custodians, I mean, they're all important, and it takes everybody to make a school become excellent. If you want to go for excellence, mediocrity, you can have that anytime you want it. But if you're really going to go for excellence, you've got to rally the entire community around that school and around the process of teaching and learning.
How many Renaissance schools are in, let's say, Horry County?
Well, a lot of them are doing pieces of a lot of pieces of it, and we've got complete districts. Green Sea, Floyd's Elementary is doing some real great things with Renaissance. Conway High kind of let go of it for a little while and let it just kind of lag, and all of a sudden
you started traveling.
Well, you know, and I graduated my class in '92 is what I tell people, and didn't retire, refired. But you know, we finally got Conway High to come to our national conferences, and they said, "Oh my gosh, look at what has happened to all of our ideas." And a lot of things we had in place, they hadn't just totally gone away because the foundation was still strong, and they do a great job and every year with a banquet and some other things, and providing scholarships and grants for teachers. And one thing we encourage is, don't just think scholarships, think teachers' grants, because we've got to get the money to the teacher level and away from, you know, the bureaucracy that has invaded American schools. And that's why business thinking is so critical, because through a foundation, that foundation board decides who gets what when, and there's not a lot of things tied to it.
Larry, can folks get in touch with you? I mean, are you, I know you're out on the road quite a bit. I think I saw a phone number for you, as well as the www.jostens.com/Renaissance. How about a phone number if a viewer in Lumberton or Laurinburg wanted to learn more about the Renaissance movement?
Be glad to talk. I'm just give my cell phone, probably the easiest one to catch up with me. It's 843-450-1611.
Okay, 843-450-1611.
And then I'm online at AOL, LL Biddle, for Larry Lee, LL Biddle at AOL.com. So they can email me, but they can go online at Jostens and do what they need to do.
Larry, you talked about the Renaissance philosophy is let's take them to the next level. Does Larry L. Biddle have a philosophy of life? Is it the same?
I think it's help others become who they can be. Power of helping people find their niches is the philosophy.
And that's a magnificent philosophy, and it's almost we've got a few more minutes, a couple of minutes. That's almost a great way to end. When you think about meeting Jenny in Madrid, and you think about ending up in Conway, do your family from the West Coast or any back in Canada or otherwise come down and see you all now on a regular basis?
Oh yeah, they because you live near the ocean, and we have a place at Merle's Inlet. They all seems like they're not coming too much in the winter. Although there is a Californian coming next on the 29th. One of these Renaissance educators, a great couple out there in California. But yeah, they all make their way back here. The golf courses and family. My dad is with us. He's 85, and so there's, the 3 grandchildren and the 6 great-grandchildren, so that's been good. They come rolling in, yeah.
Larry, someone said you got 60 seconds to talk, and they wanted to know, why does the Renaissance movement work? Could you summarize it in 60 seconds, why the Renaissance movement is working, why it worked 20 years ago in Conway, South Carolina, and now why it works in 5,500 schools across?
Yeah, it's because it's principle-based. When I was a child, my mother said to me, if you become a soldier, you'll end up as a general. Become a monk, you'll wind up as Pope. Instead, I became a painter, wound up as Picasso. That quote, to me, summarizes what Renaissance schools are working on, to help each student on that campus find his or her niche in life and to grow them to where they want to go. Where's your passion? Where can you go? And how can we help you get there?
Indirectly inspired by a sister when he was in the 5th grade, by giving his parents the ability to recognize our son can be an educator, recognizing his goal in life is to help others, not only through the Renaissance movement, but in his day-to-day life. Larry, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
My honor.
Stay tuned to more Carolina People coming up next. We want to thank the staff, the faculty, and all the students at Conway High School in the 70s and early 80s for giving Larry the inspiration to get the Renaissance movement started.